Court ruled in favor of the school.
Last week, Chief Justice Warren Burger said he'd never allow television cameras in the Supreme Court. Burger says cameras are the most destructive thing in the world. He probably won't get much of an argument from a Carmel Valley man. Mike Walter has his story.
Kerry Crockett is getting by just fine, thank you, but his career aspirations took a dip a few years back when cameras were allowed into the courtrooms. Crockett was a court illustrator in Seattle and had just moved to the Bay Area to continue his occupation for a station there. As Crockett puts it, he had to punt. He's a commercial artist now, and much of his work adorns his Carmel Valley home. He doesn't seem to be suffering any ill effects from what happened, but Crockett believes the television viewers are.
You always see things and catch things that I think you might not focus on if you had a camera in the courtroom. Furtive hand movements or whatever. Of course, I prefer drawings to cameras in any case.
At one time, Crockett was covering an anti-nuclear case where a group of defendants were set to walk out of the courtroom with blindfolds on in a protest to the way the proceedings were going.
We waited for hours, and there was no way they hadn't done it yet. The trial was slow. So I did a drawing out of the top of my head, using the people I saw around me, of what the situation might look like.
It's exactly what things did look like when it actually happened. The sketch from his mind was a duplicate, even down to spectators reacting to the protest. Crockett also covered the Kenneth Bianchi proceedings before Bianchi was sent down to Los Angeles and sentenced for his part in the hillside slayings. His memory of Bianchi is summed up in just a few words.
The intensity of the man was incredible, too. Quite a presence that he had.
That intensity, that presence, was captured by Crockett. He also captured a bailiff with his mind wandering elsewhere. There's the judge's cross stare at a defense attorney. There's the confused defendant, the troubled witness, and the unbalanced serial killer. All just memories now. Memories of the way things used to be. But you know, if Crockett were to come back into the courts today, he'd probably draw a different sketch altogether. The reporter would probably remain, but Crockett's space will be taken by a cameraman. And I guess in a way he's right. We have lost something. Mike Walter, KSBW, Action News.
Up until now, we have been keeping a light jacket handy because it's been kind of
right.
cool. Now it's about time, I think, maybe to pull out the heavier jacket.
You're not kidding. Last week we were talking about